here we are once more. This is our third time recording part 2 of the book. Third time's a charm.
Cannot get more charming than this, I tell you. All right. What were we up to? I'm pretty sure.
Pause. What is your drink of choice tonight?
My drink of choice is the grey mug. It's not a cup of tea. It's actually...
Okay.
Shh. Don't tell anyone.
I have gone for the Total Energies mug because I need total energy.
No, not sponsored, by the way.
No, not sponsor. Please sponsor me. They do like pivot oil and stuff. So. And I've gone for my newest addiction. It is peppermint, green tea, ginger, and cinnamon.
That sounds like way too much.
It's really good.
Hey everyone, welcome to Books and Such, where we talk about books and such. Today's book is The Will of the Many by James Islington.
Okay, where were we up to?
Part 2, right near the end, where I just told you how there was bar was mentioned in the book. Someone must have been reading Brandon Sanderson, because he uses that all the time. I just had to point that out. What are we up to now? He's just gotten into class 4. So he does a maze run with Equa. There's tension between Viz and Iroh, and it gets worse. Iroh's like, as he's trying to do the maze, and Viz is like, shut up, I'm trying to concentrate. But he stuffs up, and Equa's not very happy. Swaps around. Equa's turn with the bracer. Viz has run around the maze. Iroh's still like, to Equa, and she's just like, whatevs. And she keeps going and does a brilliant job. And that's the run. Straight after that, though, who comes up to him? Indol, and he invites him to study with the other threes from military, I think, from memory. He doesn't really want to, but he kind of feels like he has to, so he accepts. And then finds out it's going to be on Seuss, where he's from. First time he's gone back since he was almost murdered there, and he's not excited at all. Then there's a bit more talking to Calidus, disguised as practicing the maze. See, Calidus is an info dump. There's a little bit more of that, where it's just like, hey, this is what's going on, Viz. It's me, Calidus, or narrator kind of guy. I've got one dimension to me. All I do is tell you stuff.
Come on.
And that's why Calidus is boring.
What? Okay, I do agree that a lot of what he...
Good, let's move on then.
A lot of what he has said... I agree that a lot of what he says is information, but he has layers to him.
I'm not being completely fair. He gets more interesting as the book goes on. But for the first 2 parts, he's pretty much just info dump Calidus. That's what we call him.
Yeah, I can see your point.
IDC, info dump Calidus.
Also, I think it's around this time, or just before they run the maze, Viz is talking to Iden, and he learns from Iden that on Viz's first day, Viridius actually went and told Iden that he was to, like, haze Calidus, and Viridius knew Calidus was in the dorms when he was bringing Viz there. He set it all up so Viz and Calidus would go into the mess hall, and Aiden would come and haze them. Sneaky Viridius.
And then the festival.
The festival.
What's it called? The festival of...
The Festival of Platunia.
Platunia.
Yeah, like Petunia.
It's a religion festival where it's just about having fun, basically.
Yes.
Enjoying yourself. Little too much to some people.
The first festival was a bit more military.
It was completely military.
The military were there to, do security, I guess. This one, though, no military.
No, this one's all about religion and fun and games. So, festival. Viz goes to the festival with the other 4s, isn't it? And sneaks away from them because he doesn't really want to join in. And he has to see Relukia. He wants to get out of going to Seuss, right? They have a little chat.
But little does he know that she actually organised the whole thing.
She orchestrated it. It's her fault. So she's not going to get him out of it, is she? It's a very important line that she says. Did you mark that down as well? So they're having a little chat, Viz/Diago. He's like, I don't want to hurt anyone. This sucks. I like to protect everyone and I'm such a good guy. And Relukia says, talking about the attack on Seuss, and she says, the decision may have been made by the few, Diago, but it's the will of the many that killed your family. Brilliant. Brilliant.
You know that meme where it's like when the title of the book is mentioned or the title of the movie is mentioned?
Yep. Like when Morbius jumps up and says it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
That was the best, wasn't it?
It was so good. That's what it was like. I wrote that down. And will in that sentence, but it's the will of the many that killed your family. Will was capitalized. It wasn't just a lowercase w, it was an uppercase, meaning the surrendered will, the will of the people, was what led to the deaths of his family. Brilliant. James Islington, absolutely brilliant.
So basically what you're saying is this is the equivalent of it's Morbin time. Reliquia is Morbius. She's saying the line.
She's Willius. She's Willius. Reliquia is now known as Willius. Okay? I'm calling her Willius from now on.
Oh my goodness.
It's the will of the many. She's Willius. I think that suits her, actually.
She should have said, you know what she should have said? It's willing time.
It's willing time. And then she willed on everyone.
Oh my goodness.
This book is so good. I think we should write books. Okay. Has a little chat to Reliquia. Then she follows follows her afterwards. Sorry, you got more about that little meeting?
Yeah, I'll go into the intro. So, can't even do it. I was going to say a joke, but I can't do it.
Do it.
So, Reliquia just... Okay. So, Reliquia just... Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Do you want me to close my eyes? Go. I'm not watching.
Oh, let me try this again. So, Viz meets with Reliquia. Ooh. So, Viz meets with Reliquia, and she just wheels... It's so hard. Did you hear what I was going to say, though?
Just do it. Come on, you can do it. I have to hear the whole thing.
And I need silence from your end. So Viz meets with Reliquia and she just wheels on everybody. And she goes, it's willing time. That's what I was trying to do.
And that's how it happened.
And then she leaves. He secretly follows her.
And then she goes up into this building, meets with this stranger, and he's a little bit like, shifty. Was he shifty? I got a shifty vibe from him. And then she's like, blah, blah, blah. Viz doesn't understand what they're talking about. And then she's like, he says, I'm getting better at it. And she's like, show me. And so he disappears. And then a few seconds later, a man walks in the building who looks identical to the guy that disappeared.
Yes, I have written down the stranger can teleport, ? Because that seems to be what he's doing.
Somehow he can teleport.
Now we've opened sort of a can of worms of additional uses of will, perhaps.
Which will be relevant later on. Viz walks off, doesn't really get much dirt on Reliquia, and then all of a sudden he gets attacked by these two buffoons. Start wailing on him. Viz thinks he's about to die. They say, no, and they stop themselves. His eyes look fine, and Viz is like, what is going on here?
What do we know about eyes? They go all black when people are using will.
Turns out it was one big setup from Equa trying to prove that Viz had been cheating and using will the whole time he was in the academy. But guess what? He's not allowed to. And the Preceptor from 4 is like, well, Equa, you were wrong. There's going to be consequences for that. So she went from being top of the class to bottom. And that's where it finishes. That's where part 2 finishes. We did it.
Hooray!
Part 3.
This is part 3 of The Will of the Many. Alrighty, let's get into it.
Like and subscribe. Actually, please don't like and subscribe. We don't want people watching us.
Please don't like and subscribe.
Don't subscribe. Don't do it.
Do not watch us. We do not want eyes and ears. Please. I have had enough of trying to tell you people.
All the attention.
Leave me alone! Oh. Leave me alone!
Okay, settle down. Okay, part 3. The good part, where things actually happen. Okay, there's been a couple of good parts beforehand. But now, the really good parts. A couple of amazing scenes coming up. Chapters. Scenes are for movies. Viz goes to Seuss. Big thing for him. He's not sure what is going to go on.
So he arrives on Seuss, and one of his concerns was that he might be recognised, but that's dismissed many times. He sees somebody that he knows, Fadric, his dad's advisor, and immediately that is top of his list of things to worry about.
Added to his list of things to worry about. Meets with Olkisko and he chooses the bedroom that he knows has a secret passageway through the palace. The palace hasn't changed much. The actual structure of it's the same. It's just been catenicized, if you will. That's a word. That's a new word. And that's actually something I'd written down. The description of everything is Catenin mosaic and Catenin sculptures and Catenin colours. What does that mean? Can you please describe to me what a Catenin sculpture looks like?
Do you recall what Catenin colours are? Because I didn't write that down.
It's like orange, blue, and white or something weird like that. Everything looks like Catenin, and we've got no idea what that actually looks like.
That to me says that it probably isn't that as important. But I do agree that it would be nice to have a description here and there.
Yeah, and the other thing is Emisa. She is basically what's keeping Viz grounded while he's in Seuss. That's like the thing he's holding on to keep him sane with all this turmoil inside of him from being back to his homeland.
Another thing I noted at the dinner, Old Keyscorn notices Viz's bond, his friendliness with Emisa, and he makes certain to tell Viz to be careful of her because she is the one who gave Viz the drink after the Transvact attack, which made him all sick. Suddenly, a little seed of doubt is being planted about Emisa.
But Viz doesn't care. He likes her. There was one little bit that he described how he tried to revive Kari, his sister, and couldn't, and then released her body out to sea. So that sister of his should be dead.
Should be.
I'm not 100% confirmed, but he said he tried to resuscitate her for way too long and she was definitely dead, and so he released her body out to sea. I think that's about as close to being dead as we can get. You agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's fairly certain that she's dead.
The next important part is that they tried to get food at a Susan restaurant. Susan. Anyway, the owner's like, no, I'll never serve you guys. You suck. You killed our royal family. Viz loves it. This is like a turning point for him. He's all sad. Oh, look at all these people. I thought they'd be standing up for themselves and not just capitulating so easily. And then this guy comes in and he's like, not having any of you lot near. And he shoves them off. And Viz is like, that's what I want. That's the fighting spirit of the Susan people. That's what we love. I loved it too. That was so good.
And then I like how later he goes back to that same restaurant by himself. That was so nice.
Yes, that was really, really good scene. That was basically the scene where Viz has accepted what's happened in the past and has now started to move forwards. That's what that scene meant. He still feels the pain, but he's accepted it, which he hadn't before he came to Seuss, and he's decided he's going to move forwards with his life properly, rather than just squashing down all those feelings and trying to ignore them. Very big for him. The whole trip to Seuss, all about Viz's emotions. We are getting a little ahead of ourselves though. Emisa almost drowns.
Oh, yes. Okay, we should talk about that.
Yeah, remember that bit? That just a little thing that happened.
So Emisa invites Viz to go swimming. He declines. She goes swimming, and he's talking to Indol later on. And Indol mentions that she went swimming in the lagoon, I think it was. And Viz, knowing this island, immediately goes, oh my goodness, the tide's going to be in. There's a rip, spins around and sprints off to go rescue her.
Sees her down in the water, runs up to the edge of the cliff, does not stop. Perfect dive into the water. Absolutely flawless. That would have been a 10 out of 10. There was pretty much no splash at the bottom of that dive.
He's never done this before. He does not know what to expect. He's in the air. He's in good shape. Very good.
Finds her. They drift further and further until Viz eventually gets them in this little cave way down the shoreline.
This whole time I'm thinking this is going to blow Viz's cover. He just said he's not a strong swimmer. He just said he can't swim.
That's what he said to Belly.
How is he going to recover this?
I've written down, Viz doing things like this is going to backfire properly one day. He'll be found out. The next morning, Viz and Emmy. I'm actually not sure I was expecting that.
Yeah.
The way Viz had been pushing her away and kind of holding her at arm's length, I thought he'd stick to that, but apparently not. That's it. He's in love. And I reckon might be part of Emisa's plans that she's using him somehow.
So at this point, you think that Emisa has a plan to use him for what gain though?
Lots of gain. She's gonna have so much gains, bro, from using Viz.
Because she meets him in the mess hall when he's just been punched by Iden. I'm not sure what she's seeing. He's not exactly top of the ranks. I'm not sure what her big plan would be, though.
He was the Catenicus.
Yeah.
He has a big reputation. Viz has a chat to Ulkiskor about the ruins he's seen, the second lot, and the labyrinth, and he says, basically, you're going to have to run it, or else I'm putting you in a sapper. So Viz is like, oh, great, whatever. I've just about died 10 times for you, but... all right, I'll keep going.
And wasn't it great that Lannistia was sticking up for him, though?
Yes, Lanny.
She's right, though.
She is. Viz is trying his best. Later on, he listens in to the secret meeting of the military heads after Alkiska's gone and finds out they're the ones supporting the Anguis, giving them resources in order to stir up more trouble within the Empire so that the military is useful still. Yes. Yes, the lady in the white top.
Yes, thank you. Let me just say something real quick. So the thing that I remember is military are helping the Anguis, but the Anguis don't know that the military are helping them. Next, Fadric and Viz reunion.
And then he takes him to a secret room where all these family treasures are. Old toys, coins from back in the day, all this other stuff, and they talk all night.
The most important thing to note from this, not only was it a nice reunion, Fadric is showing Viz all of Viz's belongings from when he was a kid, including a set of wooden ships that Viz made, and he made a ship for each of his family members, and Viz carved his family members' names onto each of the wooden ships. But he notes that the ship that he made for himself with his name on it is missing.
Anyway, this is a huge emotional point for Viz. This is just before he goes and has that lovely fish dinner at the restaurant. This is just before that. This is the point where he decides he's going to move on. That lovely fish dinner at the restaurant kind of solidifies that he's making the right choice and he's moving on. He's processing things, his trauma, he's getting through it.
There's a point where Indol is a bit suspicious of Viz. Viz seems to know his way around a little bit. He seems to know this place, and he questions Viz about whether or not this is actually his home. And I got a bit nervous at this point because it seemed like perhaps Indol was going to launch into some accusations, or I could see the book heading down this way of like, this is the point where Viz is revealed. But Viz kind of makes his way out of it a little bit unconvincingly and kind of just says that he's from a place like this. Which is a bit of a cop-out, but hey. And then they head back to the academy.
Calidus and Iden have become friends. They're like besties. Well, not besties. They're good mates though. I love that bit. Calidus is okay now. If Iden likes Calidus, maybe I can too. All right, I trust Iden.
I was going to say...
I don't trust Calidus.
Oi.
Not at this stage of the book.
I was going to reveal about Belly's blackmail.
So was I.
Okay, and then this is where Calidus reveals that Belly has actually blackmailed Calidus. Calidus brought some of his father's documents and showed Belly, and then she took them and is now using them to blackmail him.
He was in love.
Callie.
Seriously, the boys in this book and doing silly things for love. I tell you, the game of foundation. Oh.
Hey.
One of the best parts in the entire book.
How about we give a round of applause for this scene? The Foundations game with Belly.
Set up so well. She takes the bait. They have this game of foundation. The stakes are high. What were the stakes? Viz was going to join her pyramid.
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay, you take it away.
No, it's okay.
Take it away.
You can talk.
No, I insist because that's all I know.
Belly is in religion, right? If Belly wins, Viz pledges to religion when he graduates. If Viz wins, Belly gives up her place in class 3 for Viz. He gets to move into class 3. Now, important to note, once Viz starts to win the game, he offers her a draw secretly. And this is where the blackmail comes in. And he says to her, we can still draw, but you need to give back Calidus those documents right now, and I'll let us draw. And so they go and get the documents. Calidus verifies them, and he goes and pretends to burn them. This was the most cutthroat bit, though. They get back to the game of foundations. Belly starts to make her moves, expecting Viz to draw. Viz is making moves that are going to let him win, and she's like, "What? What are you doing?" And he says, I don't have his exact line. He basically tells her, there are consequences to your actions.
This is how it feels to be betrayed.
He was never going to get another chance to get into class 3. So I'm glad that this is how it panned out.
It's such a satisfying scene. It's still called a scene in a book, isn't it?
Yeah. I was actually going to say he could build a house with how strong his foundation is.
His foundation game. It was foreshadowed as well. The very first scene with Viz, he's playing the guy in the jail and just wrecks him every single time.
Consistency.
Anyway, the Eutychium, they have to choose 2 people to go with them. Viz chooses Calidus and Iden, and they're both like, yeah, I'll do this for you. Calidus is like, yeah, we're probably going to die, but I'll do it for you anyway. If anyone's going to get me out of it alive, it's you, Viz. Anyway. So Viridius has to have a chat to the candidates' nominations of who's going to be on their team. Viz is not allowed to know what it's about. After that chat, Iden's like, yeah, nah, I can't. So Viz has to choose someone else. Who does he choose? Equa, of course. The person who not betrayed him. She didn't betray him. She was just real sus.
She kind of just thought the imposter's among us, you know?
And she's really actually quite smart. She could have pretty much been class 3. So the Eutychium starts. They got all these trackers on them. The top team goes off first. Then the other teams all go. Lastly, Viz and Calidus and Equa go. Soon as they start, ambushed. Bam! Who's ambushing them? Iroh and Belly. But they both want revenge on him. And Equa's like, yeah, sounds good. I'll join you guys too. And so they tie him up and leave him alone and run off.
When Equa, Calidus, and Viz were tied up, and Equa was saying, I really need to win this. I'm going to go with them. Did you believe that she was never coming back?
No, I thought it was a ruse.
I genuinely thought that she was gone.
Oh.
I didn't think she was coming back. I thought this was going to set up the story with even more odds stacked against Viz.
It was still really good.
I thought, this is going to be impossible for Viz to win now.
So Equa comes back, unties them. He's like, guys, I got this good plan for getting them back. Viz is like, yeah, I've got this good plan too. I'm going to steal a compass. Anyway, they all get split up and Viz is like, now's my chance. I'm going to the ruins. I'm going to run that labyrinth. I'm really scared.
I have just 2 points, 3 points. I noticed leading up to the Eutychium, including early on, Calidus has lots of conversations about how students keep going missing during the Eutychium, students die during the Eutychium, students get injured during the Eutychium, and then he keeps having these conversations. Viz goes and steals the compass from the safety team. Also, when the safety team guy throws a literal tree at Viz, I wrote down red flag.
Yeah, yep.
And then when they're like, guys, we've got to split up. And Calidus is like, yeah, I'll go this way. I'll go and be a distraction. I thought, oh no, my heart sunk. I'm thinking, this is it. This is the end. And then
he starts singing.
Who knew Calidus had pipes? I mean...
Well, apparently he doesn't. Apparently he wasn't singing very well. So... It was a great distraction.
And then Viz separates and goes looking for the labyrinth, the ruins.
Someone is stalking him as he's going there. Who is it but the little puppy dog who he rescued when he had to stop, when he was in a real big rush, but he could stop to do some fishing and some cooking. That little pup.
I had forgotten that he had named the puppy Diago.
That's right. He's like, could it be Diago?
Yes, then when he saw it, he's like, Diago. I'm thinking, who? What are you on about?
This is getting exciting.
Let's get right into it.
Goes down into the labyrinth, sends in one of the half-dead people to go through the labyrinth, and they've shown him that there's like this little mini labyrinth that he can have a look at and has little points on it like a mini map on a game and shows exactly what's happening inside of the labyrinth. And he has the bracer. He's controlling what's happening. And so he can plan what's going to happen. He can figure out the patterns for the big scary shard things that chase all through the labyrinth, figures it out.
So this was so very appropriately brutal when he asks the half-dead people, are you dead? Before sending them in.
Yes.
That person dies, and then the next person comes and he says, all right, in you go. And he just keeps sending them in, and he's like, I don't know how many more of these I can handle.
I didn't think it was that brutal at all.
No, I said it's so appropriately brutal. It just reinforces over and over that this is a life or death run.
They're basically puppets. He's sending people that are already dead to their deaths.
If these people were anything like Lannistia, she's not dead. So I think these people are a little bit more like under a spell.
I hadn't thought of that.
That's all I'm thinking. I'm thinking these people might think they're dead, or maybe they technically are, but they're technically something is keeping them alive. And so he's sending them to their deaths. He's either sending them to their deaths or not. The next one who turns up is a little 12-year-old, and he says, okay, that's enough. I'm going in.
Yep. Vec. I can't do this.
Hey. No language here.
Sorry.
And then he runs it himself.
And what does he see in the middle of the maze? What is it?
I can't say.
Do you want me to say it?
I can't say it.
It's Bailey's dead body. How did she get there? And how is her body? And how is her body?
Let me try that again.
Still, no, yeah, please.
Okay, ready?
Go.
Let me see if I can fly off my chair. Say that one more time.
Ready? Bailey's dead body.
That was me when I read that. Everything slots into place.
I thought it wasn't actually her. when I first read it. I was like, they're manipulating him somehow. The labyrinth is designed to trip people up, and this is like some kind of phantom that they've pulled up.
I wrote, Belly in the maze? ? They send students into the labyrinth to see if they can complete it, whilst the Eutychium is just a cover-up.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or sort of like a bit of a cover-up. Maybe it sort of is technicalities for them graduating, but it's also just an excuse or a cover-up to send the kids into the maze.
I'm sure they could have done it a different way, but
Yeah.
to cover their deaths, the Eutychium's a really good cover. So that trips him up. He still gets it. He still makes it through the maze. Just. I don't think I can emphasize just how close it actually was. Like probably about this much of a distance between him and death.
That's too much.
Sorry. This much.
That's still too much.
Hang on, it's not focusing. There we go.
That's still too much.
No, that was it. Goes through some corridors, down into this little room.
He goes into a room that's lit red with these bronze blades curving upwards. And when he goes into there, there's something going on. He can't breathe. There's this sensation all through his body.
It feels like his body's being ripped apart, and then he's like, cool.
And then there are these like shadowy figures around the bronze blades, and they're telling him, finish the journey, warrior. And then they get sliced up in a hurricane.
And on his arm appears the word, wait, written in blood.
Carved into his arm. And then the other letters appear, R, U, and then that's all that he gets before he gets out of there.
He just bolts. He's like, I know what this is about to say. I'm out of here.
Well, that's my question. That's my question for you. So what do we think that word was going to be? I've written down a few ideas. Ruckus. Rucksack. I have
Rummy
rude.
Cub.
I've got rude, rudimentary, ruffles, ruffians, rumbly, rutabaga.
Rumbly
and-
tummy. Someone's real hungry. It's Winnie the Pooh.
And then lastly, rumbustic. So, which one are you leaning
So we don't
towards?
actually know exactly what the word was going to be.
No, we don't actually know. We don't know exactly what the word is.
He's like, I don't care about this. And off he goes. He just runs.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a word. That could be a word.
Unlikely.
Run.
So he gets back to the labyrinth, has to do it in reverse, runs. He's going outside, trying to leave. All the eyeless people jump up and are like, don't go anywhere. You haven't finished.
They're also telling him, finish the journey, warrior.
And he's like, whatever, I'm out of here. Runs past them. And his wolf friend shows up again and is like, I'll save you, and attacks them all. And Viz runs. The wolf attacks, Viz attacks, everyone's just attacking each other.
He's in the process of leaving. A few of them follow him out, and he has to fight them, and Diago helps him, and one of them bites him on the arm.
Big fight. Viz is fine. The wolf, on the other hand, just about dies. And Viz is like, oh no, let's both take a nap. So they have a little nap together. Viz jumps up. I gotta get back. Gotta meet Calidus and Equa. Eventually he comes, meets them. They continue on. They've got their compass. They've got to find this heart of the
Joven, the heart of Joven. So they're going through the forest, and they stumble upon a heap of dead bodies, and they realise it's the safety teams, which means that the safety teams that are currently there are not the actual safety teams.
It's more like the unsafety teams.
In which Viz concludes that the Anguis have infiltrated and are trying to kill everybody. Whilst they're walking around this forest, Viz is kind of getting like mind powers now. He can start to sense things before they happen. He can sense when a person is approaching before they get there.
People. He can sense presences. Viz is like, we've got to warn everybody. Calidus is like, I'm going to run off. I'm going to sit in some bushes and just wait for you guys to do your little thing. And then we'll meet up in a minute. Equa and Viz are like, all right, let's go warn everyone. They go warn everyone. Everyone's like, yeah, nah, good idea. Let's get out of here. So they start running off. Viz is like, what about Amisa? Where's she? And she's gone to get the heart of Joven. So he goes into the ruins where the heart of Joven is to try and save her.
Who is there except the stranger that Reliquia was talking to?
The one that teleports.
The teleporter. What's the isn't there a name of a what's the blue guy that teleports? X-Men. Teleports,
Nightcrawler?
doesn't he? Yes, this guy's like Nightcrawler.
He probably looks like him too. Do you know why? Because he's from Seuss.
How do you know that?
Do you reckon? No, he says, okay, so they have their little confrontation. Did you miss this bit? This is really important. They have their little confrontation and he's like, just win. I don't care. Everyone else doesn't matter. I'm happy for you to win. He says that they are not related.
Akin.
They're kin. Yes.
I thought this was because...
Who else is going to be kin with him?
Oh yeah, I thought this was because Viz, the guy, sensed that Viz is starting to develop these powers. And so they're kind of akin.
I think they're literally kin, as in they're related somehow. I reckon it's to do with Seuss. He's just developing this ability to be able to sense people. This other guy can teleport, and Melior can just destroy thousands of people with a wave of his hand. I think there's a big connection between Seuss and these special powers.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
He finds the heart, but there's a big bad guy guarding it, and the bad guy almost kills him. But Viz can sense there's another presence nearby. Of course, it's Amissa. She runs up, kills him, and Viz is like, oh, thank you. Here's the heart. Like you've got my heart. You can have the heart of Joven as well. Thanks. That's real good.
That is not
like
how
that.
it happens.
That's exactly what happens. It is right down to the sound effects.
So she kills the big bad guy. Viz currently has the heart. She's like, oh, your arm, where you got bitten, quite bad. Let me look at it. So she looks at his arm and immediately just stops talking. But then she's like, give me the heart. I need to win. And he's like, okay, we have kind of bigger issues right now, but here you go. And then she is still looking at him and she's like, I need to win. And then stabs him and he's falling off this tower and the heart, like Thor, comes into his hand. He can't even reach it.
It's Mjolnir. The heart of Joven is Viz's Mjolnir.
Oh my goodness, we are making connections. I think this is exactly what James is thinking.
And then Viz is like, it's Avenging time.
And so Viz falls off the tower
into the water.
And Diago has pulled him out of the water and saved him.
He is a long way away from Calidus. He travels for hours to get to Calidus's position. And then he hears a scream once he gets there, when he gets to Calidus's position. And do you know whose scream it was? I'm pretty sure it was the security guard. Diago has run ahead and killed this guy because he was torturing Calidus. Picks him up, starts walking, even though he can barely move his arm. He's almost tired. He almost died. Still, he manages to pick up a full-grown boy. Yeah, they're pretty much adults now. A full-grown man, and just walk for hours back to the academy. Do you want to say what happens? Do you want to say it? I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
So Viz is carrying Calidus back to the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Stop! Put some respect on Calidus's name, okay? Be respectful.
All right. I do care about Calidus at this point.
I had a slight tearing up at this point, okay?
If you were capable of tears, you would have teared up.
Yes. Deaths in books can be really cliche. You can linger on it forever and then it's just drawn out. I like that this was succinct and it opens with the line, I don't know what time Calidus died. That is perfect. Because Calidus is not our main character, I am okay with him to have a shorter death. It still carries the weight.
And it's emotional because Calidus, he was important to the story, but he kind of wasn't. But it's emotional for Viz's sake. It really impacts Viz. And so that's where the emotion's coming from my side of it. I did like Calidus by then. He was cool, but I still didn't have this love for him.
Not only is he carrying now his dead friend, Viz himself is physically injured. The bite on his arm is slowly like rotting his arm off. He's been stabbed. He's almost drowned. He is in ruins. Plus he's carrying his dead friend, plus the grief of his friend. It's a really exhausting, physically and emotionally exhausting walk back to the academy. Cutting back to Amissa, why did she betray Viz? Was it actually her, or is she being influenced by something causing her to...
I didn't think she was influenced by anything.
Oh, really?
I was not thinking that at all. I was thinking, Mrs. sucks.
I was thinking that too.
And she's a will user. The fact that she's a will user means she's been deceptive in some form, because you can't use will while you're at the academy, which I told you this was going to happen. It's all part of her plan. She doesn't even like Viz like I do.
I'm happy to not see her again in any capacity in the rest of the series, unless it is her.
After that. Yeah, what would be good is if she's like, I'm so sorry, Viz. And Viz is like, don't want to hear it. Get out of here. That'd be good.
Viz is walking back to the academy and he sees up ahead Viridius and a lot of other people.
The sun is setting. Sun's almost down. Getting back to the academy. Walking dusty, tired, dirty. Walking down the road, carrying this dead body on your shoulder. Okay, you got to paint the picture more.
Up ahead is a bunch of people from the Eutychium that survived, Equa and a few other people. And Viridius is giving this big, pompous speech about the tragedy of the Eutychium. And I wrote, Viz really accidentally aura farms.
Accidentally.
He's interrupting this Viridius's big speech, walking, dead friend in his arms, heart of Yoban, goes and puts the heart in the whatever.
Statue.
I just wrote, absolute cinema.
It was such a good scene.
It was so good.
Viridius is all like, oh yeah, all these people have dead, but blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he just walks right up there. Plonk.
Yeah, that is not what he was doing. Bro, what book are you reading?
The same one as you. Wait, I've got it on Kindle. Does your version not have that? The gruff nature of Viz as he walks in?
It must be a Kindle special edition or something.
Puts the heart back in.
What, like smoking a cigar or something?
Yeah, he's like, right, Viridius. You guys are in trouble. That's exactly what he does.
Okay, Terminator.
That's exactly what he does in the Kindle version. Have you got the line? Have you got what he says to Viridius?
Yeah. He says, I lay Calidus gently on the stone at Viridius's feet, meet his gaze, then Ameses, stunned, horrified one. Put all my venom into my voice, keeping it low so that only they two can hear. Blood coats every part of my skin. I must look a nightmare made flesh. I'm going to make sure you burn for this.
It's burning time.
It's burning time.
Oh, such a good line. Some authors, it's a bit cheesy when they do things like that. It fits though. It fits Viz. It doesn't sound cheesy.
I think sometimes it sounds cheesy because the whole time it feels like our main character is trying too hard and hasn't earned any level of respect from the reader. But I think Viz has gone through a lot and he hasn't been automatically successful and he hasn't been just a whinge whenever something mildly difficult arises. He's had to go through challenges, and so when he says something like this, it makes it a little bit more believable.
And then he collapses.
Viz wakes up in hospital bed. He has these visions of him and his father, his real father, and they're having these very emotional, very raw talks, and his father is comforting him, and I guess he's kind of in this unconscious, feverish state, but it feels so very real to him.
His father says, death is a doorway. And so Viz wants to take hold of that and think death's not the end. He wakes up properly.
Viridius is there and they have a bit of a talk about what has happened. Viridius is asking him, so you ran the labyrinth? And Viz is like, yes. Belly was there. He's like, why did you run the labyrinth? Because Alkiskor said it had something to do with his brother's death. Viridius asking Viz about the labyrinth, and Viridius saying, I wish Alkiskor would just listen to me, then you wouldn't be in this situation. This was the first point in which I thought maybe Viridius could be potentially slightly right about Siror's death. But Alkiskor thinking Viridius murdered him, maybe that, at this point I thought maybe that's wrong.
I have pretty much thought Viridius was in the right from the beginning.
Stop the cap.
No, you didn't.
Viridius is still covering things up. I think Viridius did really like Sira and Lannister. He didn't want anything to happen to them. He's too genuine in being a good guy. He's a good guy that's had to do hard things.
I had suspicions towards the beginning, but not very strong. But it's towards the end of the book that I have begun to think perhaps Alkiskor is not as reliable as we thought. Alkiskor almost serves a little bit to Viz as like this slightly unreliable narrator. He doesn't fully know whether Alkiskor is actually fully telling the truth.
He's a bit emotional.
Or whether this is just Alkiskor's view of what has happened. And he wakes with his rotting arm gone. They have taken his arm.
So Viridius tells him, the stuff you don't understand what's going on, but you need to join religion. There's people here, they're about to ask you what pyramid you want to go to, what position you want. You have to say religion. So these men come in, they're like, you have to make your decision right now. Where do you want to go? And he looks at Viridius, looks around at everyone, and he's like, I'm going to join the censors, as in Calidus's father's thing.
How appropriate.
Viridius is like, what gives, bro? I said religion. And then, what does he say?
Viz says, you were supposed to be protecting us, but you've been using us. You've been sending students to their deaths. So I'll listen to what you have to say at some point, Principalis. You have my word. But we are a long, long way from working together.
That's how I felt too.
Even in his woken up from a coma state, he still manages to be respectful and dignified. Iden comes into the room. Iden and Viz have a brief conversation. Viz is saying they weren't even looking for him, they were looking for me. It's just so meaningless. And Iden says no, death is only meaningless if it does not change us, Viz. Slightly echoing Viz's father's words earlier, talking about death is only the beginning. You know, like it's all sorts of stuff. And I put a little note, Iden the Wise.
Oh, Iden the Wise. Yes, I like that.
Okay, so everyone leaves the room. Viz has made his decision. He looks over to his...
Go. You do it. You say it. Go.
He looks over to his bedside table. He sees just the normal bedside table things, water, whatever. And then he sees a little wooden ship.
It's a boat.
And on it is written the name Diago. That is the bomb drop.
The name of the wolf.
It's the wolf.
And then the wolf jumps up. It's wolfing time.
Yes! It's wolfing time. Then we get to the two epilogues. The first one is held in Lucium, which is the snowier place, and the second one is held in Obitium, just so that when we're talking about them, we're clear. So the first one, it starts the same way that it happened when Viz got past the labyrinth and went into the bronze blades. Same thing. He wakes up, his arm has got the weight and the RU written on it, and he runs out.
In place of the labyrinth is a wall, and the way through, it costs something. Has to put his hands against the wall, and his arm gets ripped off. So he loses his arm, goes out, it's snowing, there's people there, they're saying,
traveller, traveller. Then he blacks out.
So then we get to the other epilogue.
Same sort of thing. It starts in the same place.
He wakes up within the blades, but instead of people there, there's a guy, just a singular dude. And Viz is like, hey. And he's like, you gotta trust me. I'm gonna get you out of here. First, we need to carve some words into your arm.
The guy there is like, do you know Viridius? And Viz is like, yes, I know Viridius. And then he says, who are you though? And the guy says, I'm Cyror. Bomb drop. The bomb has been dropped. Cyror's alive and he's an Obitium. And then he says, you've been copied, I guess. So then we kind of learn, oh, Viz is kind of in 3 different places. There's 3 versions of him in 3 places.
We are done. What would you give this book out of 5? We can rate it.
So, we didn't rate in part 2, but okay. I think... I'm tossing up between a 4 and a 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh.
I'm not entirely sure yet. I think I'm going to give it just a 4 for now because oftentimes I'll kind of I was going to say laminate. That's not the right word. Meditate. I'll kind of think about it a little bit more. I'll meditate.
Laminate the whole book.
It's late. It's late.
You're going to be laminating for ages on this book. Yes,
okay.
I know what you mean.
Sometimes my score changes just slightly when I've had time to think about it and let it really sink in. So I think for now, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
4.25.
Woo!
I'm going to go for the 0.25. It's above a 4. It's not quite a 4.5, but it's opened up things, which is really interesting. And I'm very interested to see what happens next. There was some of the book which was good. Some of it was great. Some of it was very, very satisfying and great. Other parts, like Calidus, was a little bit boring. So it's started something which I really like, and I'm very interested to see what happens next. It's right up there. I still enjoyed the journey, but what it's left me with is intriguing, and I have to know more.
Yeah.
So it's up there. I'm expecting the next book to be more up there.
I think this is a really, really solid fantasy book, and I think the next one is just going to be the next step up.
Have you got the next one there?
Yes. Hold up.
Wow.
Thank you everybody for watching. Like or subscribe or don't.
Yes.
Follow us on Goodreads. We're going to be linked in the description, and we'll see you in the next video.
We sure will.
Bye.
See you later.